Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Celente, and it's Thursday, October 12th, 2023. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And the reason why we're late tonight is because there's so much going on. And we're writing about it in the Trends Journal, giving you everything we can, and trying to do our very best to give you the information that's coming out, give you our trends analysis and trend forecasts. So we're not skewing the information. We report it, we repeat the way it's reported, and then we give you our analysis and forecast of it. So this is beyond anything that I've ever done in my life concerning the level we're at now with this Israel war breaking out. And I'm very, very concerned about this because, I'm not a Bible cat, but there's this thing called the second coming, and it may be coming around the corner. And this could be Armageddon because we have vicious, evil people running the world. And this just keeps going on and on. Name your favorite war. I like the Peloponnesian War. No, the 100-Year War. That was the war for me. Well, didn't you like the War of Roses? It smells so beautiful. World War I, World War II, on and 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 on. And they asked this cat by the name of Albert Einstein, knew a thing or two about the atomic bomb. Oh, yeah, the atom bomb that the United States used, those dirty Russians, they killed all those Japanese, hundreds of thousands of them, after the war was essentially over. Oh, no, it wasn't the Japanese, it was the Americans, I forgot. They asked Einstein, what weapons will be used to fight the Third World War? He said, I don't know, but they'll be using sticks and stones to fight the fourth. And the Third World War has begun. You got it going on in Eastern Europe, and now you're going on the Middle East. All right? So grow the fuck up, everybody. And that's really all I really have to talk about of any importance because, I'm really concerned about, I just hope everything goes well with Taylor Swift and a boyfriend. And what is Beyonce doing this week? Oh, the fucking scumbag shitheads that they call journalists. USA Today, I forgot. They hired journalists to cover Beyonce and Taylor Swift. This is how fucking ignorant the people are about what's going on in the world because they're brainwashed by crap. They don't have a fucking clue about this, and all they know is what the mainstream media is shoving down their throat. Is, the COVID war, the Ukraine war, the Israel war. Only believe what the officials tell you. You're not allowed to think anything else. So we're going to get there. But first, I want to talk about the economy. Wall Street bets Fed is done lifting rates. That's an article that just came out. And it looks like they're finished with them. What just happened with this Israel war, you got the Ukraine war going on, this thing is out of control. We are in for the worst socioeconomic and geopolitical crisis in modern history. So yeah, they raised them, and everything's fucking going down. There's an article that just came out on Politico. And again, in tracking trends, all things are connected. Or it's like Chief Seattle said, all things are connected like the blood which unites us all. Oh, Chief Seattle, you mean American Indian? Slaughtered by the colonists and every treaty made with the American Indians, the United States didn't apply by? Oh yeah, that Chief Seattle. All things are connected like the blood which unites us all. So when you're looking at trend forecasting, you have to look at opportunity misses those who view the world through the eyes of their profession. This is from Politico. Biden's choice: let Iranian oil flow or watch prices rise. Hamas attacks on Israel is bringing pressure on President Joe Biden to clamp down on Iranian oil exports. What the fuck does this have to do? Oh, the data coming out saying Iran had nothing to do with this, by the way, even from the American government. But these little fucking scumbags, and don't forget to vote for them. Vote for your pieces of shit. Vote for your pieces of shit. Calm down, Celente. Let them destroy us. Okay. Crude oil exports from Iran have risen under Biden's watch, blah, blah, blah. Now, last weekend, violence by the Iranian allied Palestinian group, wait a minute, is fueling new calls for the U.S. Now they're putting Iran into this. You got it? To choke off the stream of revenue stream, which Republican lawmakers, Republican little fucking scumbags. I got enough fucking laws. Don't make any more. Republican lawmakers have lambasted as an ill-fated attempt at, quote, appeasement. The oil exports have become Exhibit B in the GOP's complaints about Biden handling Iran, blah, 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 alongside the administration's decision, you ready, to allow Iran access to $6 billion in frozen assets as part of a recent deal to release American prisoners. Yeah, that was the deal. But guess what? America just announced they backtrack on that deal. Fuck you, Iran. We made a deal. Go to hell. Thanks to the oil sales, the Iranians, quote, are making billions of dollars, former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. What Kevin McCarthy? Charlie McCarthy. A little fucking puppet. A little fucking puppet. A little fucking puppet. And that's all you have running us. Little fucking puppets. Look what the Biden administration has done to help this Islamic terrorist regime in Iran. Former Trump National Intelligence Director John Ratcliffe said on Fox last weekend, National Intelligence? You got no fucking brains. It's not Ratcliffe. It's rat shit. Some Republicans said Biden needs to go beyond sanctions. You ready? Senator Lindsey Graham, another little fucking scumbag piece of arrogant warmongering. Did you come out of the closet yet, Graham shit? Called on the U.S. and Israel, quote, to hit Iran's oil economy in retaliation for Hamas attacks. Quote, I am urging the Biden administration and Israelis to jointly come up with a plan to destroy Iran's infrastructure. Great. Go. You better get this in your head, everybody. You better grow the fuck up, everybody. Go attack Iran, wipe out their oil infrastructure, and it's the end of the fucking world. These are the Persians. They've been around a long time and they're not going anywhere. It'll be nuclear annihilation, Armageddon. And every one of you fucking scumbags that support war, go over there and fight or shut your fucking mouth. Yep. It would be hard for us to come up with an amount of sanctions for Iran that I wouldn't support, Representative Brian Mast of Florida said. Oil sanctions drive the oil prices for all of us like you stupid fucking scumbags did with the sanctions on Russia. Oh, and that I wouldn't support? Hey, fuckface! We're in charge of you. You're a public servant. You're a public servant. And this is why we have the shirts. And here they are. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Who the fuck are you? I would sanction Iran that I wouldn't support. Yep, one after another. So that's the oil prices. We're mentioning that because it's only going to get worse. Mideast war may impede global effort for recovery. And this is coming from the International Monetary Fund. Yeah, no fucking shit. That'd blow me away. We'd have never thought that. World Trade Organization chief warns today of a really big impact on trade if Israel-Hamas conflict widens. Yeah, no fucking, no, you really? I would have never known that. Why don't you read the Trends Journal that came out yesterday? All of what we're saying now, it's in there, word for word for word. Yep. Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. The global economy is failing. Netanyahu's judicial reform policy was failing. We said this would happen, and it's happened. And good news for you folks over there in Argentina. They raised interest rates to 133% as peso falters. Again, I'm mentioning this because the whole fucking world is going down to shit. And we're giving you everything we can to help you prevail in these times ahead. That's if we're alive. That's if we don't get annihilated and wiped off the face of the earth by these crazy fucking pricks. And I can't say the other word. Consumer prices in the U.S. rose 0.4% in September, more than expected. More than expected by who? Not by us. We said this would happen week after week after week. Oh, and now they're going to keep interest rates where they are? This thing is going down big. It's going down hard. It's going down fast. Welcome to Argentina. Yep. Consumer price index, blah, 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 increased 3 point. Oh, by the way, all of us plantation workers of Slavelandia, our average hourly earnings fell 0.2%. And the fucking scumbags of the feds said that they were going to raise interest rates, all data, all facts in your Trends Journal, because wages are going up. Wages are going up. And the bigs that own all the corporations and the billionaires aren't making enough fucking profits because you're getting paid too much. Yeah. Week after week, we're writing that. Wages are going down. And when you put the real inflation number in there, they're way down. Oh, you ready? In keeping with recent trends, shelter costs were the main factor in inflation increase. Shelter costs. Isn't that a nice name? Shelter costs. That's what the plantation workers have. We got a shelter. Yeah. Once upon a time, people could buy homes. But anyway, shelter costs, that went up, right? That went up high. Hey, if shelter costs are going up, then people are going to be buying less product. You got it? Means less money to buy more products. Yep. So that's just part of it. What else? U.S. consumers rein in use of credit cards as charges soar. Yeah, 22.8% is the average on the fucking credit cards. Hey, they used to have the mafia that were charging 10% interest, Hey, but the banksters could charge what the fuck they want. And that's just the average. It goes much higher than that. 22 fucking percent. And this is our government? That you got this fucking credit card company, fucking bankster bandits charging 22% on average for credit cards? So, once upon a time, if I can find it over here, there was a guy, Jesus Christ drove the money changers out of the temple. Where is it? Here it is. One of your covers of the Trends Journal back in 2000 and, when was this, 12? Yep. There they are. JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. The same criminal group in charge. Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Got a lot of stuff here. Although we haven't even... So, PepsiCo raises prices and profits too. That's right. Keep those prices going up. Big bankruptcies. boost economic fears. Oh, this is in the Wall Street Journal. No shit. Huh. Okay. The prospects that higher interest rates will keep constricting the global economy is worrying World Bank officials. No, don't worry about it. No, there's nothing to worry about it. The U.S. debt situation looks unsustainable and corporate defaults are rising, IMF warns. No, don't warn about it. Everything's fine. IMF outlook worsens for limping world economy. Mideast war poses new uncertainty. No shit. Oh, Texas cities are struggling with office vacancies. Only one of your top trends for 2023, office building bust. Only started warning about this over 3 years ago, but it's making the news now. Mortgage rates pummel home buyers again as they edge toward 8%. Where they're going, what's going to happen? It's in your Trends Journal. Office vacancies reach 20, keep going up. End of the roaring 20s as luxury sector softens. They call it the roaring 20s because the COVID war started in 2020. And they said when this thing, loosened up, people are going to loosen up and buy everything they can. And they did. And now it's tightening up. AMD says it'll buy AI startup. Again, the big's getting bigger. Exxon to buy Pioneer only for $60 billion. So going on now to the what's going on in Israel. This is from the New York Times on yesterday. Rallying behind Israel, U.S. leaders show rare unity. Yeah, you gotta support Israel. If you don't, you have no right to live. And I'm going to read this. The sensitivity of what was made clear by mixed signals sent by Mr. Biden's own administration. The State Department's Office of Palestinian Affairs posted a message on X, that's Twitter, on Saturday, pressing, quote, all sides to refrain from violence and retaliatory attacks. And the account of Secretary of State Antony Blinken posted a message on Sunday encouraging Turkey's, quote, advocacy for a ceasefire. All right? So ceasefire stopped us from heating up. Ready? Both posts were subsequently deleted following an outcry from Israeli supporters who said it was too soon to urge Israel to stand down. Isn't that nice? Yep. IDF chief. Israel will hit Gaza with full force without stopping. We will hit hard and take apart the rulers of Gaza. Yep. Bombs away over Gaza, the open-air concentration camp for 16 years. I'm totally opposed to what Hamas did, but totally understand what happens when you put people in an open-air concentration camp. And that's all it was. Can't go in, can't go out. And now they're bombing the hell out of the place, and the people are stuck in there. And no, there are not a lot of underground shelters. Even the New York Times writes about that. Gazans with nowhere to hide issue a plea. All right? Israel fighter jets and artillery have struck targets in Gaza frequently over the years as part of the long-standing conflict. That's right. Frequently over the years. And you go to your Trends Journal that we started writing about with the Netanyahu government, and one article after another, week after week, month after month, Israel carries out airstrikes on Gaza as tensions in regions simmer. Oh, this was only from October 3rd. Oh, when did this blow up? Just a couple of days later? Oh, this is from July 23rd. Israel ramps up killing spree. Oh, this is from July 5th. As protests against the judicial reform escalate and its airport is shut down, Israel launches biggest military operation against Palestinians in decades. Oh, that was only July 5th. Oh, 6 Palestinians killed in the latest Israeli raid on Jenin refugee camp. U.S.-made Apache helicopter gunships take part. Oh, that was June 20th. Middle East meltdown. Israel. Palestinians in another bloody clash as top Israelis call to extend conflict to the West Bank. You got it? This is only just touching it, touching it, touching it. They've been building this thing up. Can't understand why the people fought back. You ready? Senator Graham says we're in a religious war. Calls to level Gaza. Little fucking scumbag, arrogant prick, warmongering Lindsey Graham. Hey, wait a minute. This is a religious war? We're in a religious war here. That's a quote. Wait a minute. Stop. I'm the deacon of the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice. I believe in a different religion than you do. Why should I get involved in a religious war? Not a Jew, not an Arab. Why should I get involved in it? Why is the United States getting involved in a religious war? Oh, this isn't one of those wars where we're bringing freedom and democracy? It's all right for Israel to occupy all the, isn't that a nice word, occupy, steal all the land? Again, as we detail against the Geneva Conventions, UN, the data's all there. Oh, but those lousy Russians trying to steal that Ukrainian land, why, how dare they? How dare they? You got to get back Crimea. You only had it like 300 years ago. This land is Israel's land because it says right there when Moses came down with the body, all right? What hypocrisy. I am with Israel. Oh, you're with Israel? Then go over there. Hey, fuckface, go over there. Do whatever the hell you have to do to defend. Oh, to defend yourself, he says to Israel. Do whatever the hell you have to do. You got it. A satanic guy. He loves hell. Oh, all you people in America with your money that says in God we trust, what God you talking about? Yep. This is the headline. This just went on before I went on the air from CNN. Israel begins a complete siege of Gaza. Isn't that great? Complete siege, bombing the shit out of the place. All the people that are suffering. But that's okay. Those lousy Russians, boy, 15 Ukrainians died. Blinken vows U.S. support for Israel. Quote, you may be strong enough on your own to defend yourselves, but as long as America exists, you will never have to. Hey, fuck you. Fuck you, Blinken. You want to go support them, go over there and fight. This ain't my war. This shit's been going on forever. What's your favorite crusade? Hey, you like the Ottoman Empire? Our president, George Washington, warned us not to get involved in foreign entanglements. This crap has been going on for centuries. We will always be by your side. He says to fucking Benjamin Netanyahu, the guy that's being brought up on charges. We will stand by your side, not me. Blaming Israel for attacks, this is in today's Wall Street Journal, sparks backlash across the U.S. Across U.S. universities, workplaces, and halls of power, a swift backlash is meeting those who denounce Israel in the wake of Hamas's deadly attack on Saturday. Yeah, we're all opposed to the deadly attack on Saturday, but we all understand what was going on there, and I've been writing about it in a magazine since 1991. On social media and beyond, some groups and individuals sympathetic to the Palestinian cause effectively blame the attack on Israel effectively blamed the attack on Israel, alleging that the nation's policies left Palestinians little choice but to lash out with violence. Of course, that's exactly what happened. But you're condemned for it. Harvard student group issued an anti-Israel statement. CEOs want them blacklisted. Breitbart. Israel President Herzog slammed CNN on Thursday for accusing his country of committing a war crime by imposing hardships on the people of Gaza. Yep. In a news conference, Herzog described some of the atrocities committed by Hamas against Israeli citizens and said Israel would respond to Palestinian terror with an iron fist while adhering to the laws of war. There's no iron fist in laws of war. And how about what Israel's been doing to the Palestinians? That doesn't count. You ready? UN says, read this on Tuesday, I'm going to read it again. UN says civilian sieges prohibited as Israel strikes Gaza. The UN Humanitarian Office said on Tuesday that nearly 200,000 people, or nearly a tenth of the population, have fled their homes in Gaza since the start of hostilities. And such acts amount to a war crime, UN human rights spokesperson said at a Geneva press conference. You ready for this? A guy I can't stand. I make fun of him all the time, and I totally support him now. And you ready for this? He's Jewish. Bernie Sanders says Israel is violating international law with blockade on, quote, an open-air prison. For many, it's no secret that Gaza has been an open-air prison with millions of people struggling to secure basic necessities, Sanders said in a statement issued on Wednesday. The targeting of civilians is a war crime, no matter who does it, said Sanders. Israel's blanket denial of food, water, and other necessities to Gaza is a serious violation of international law and will do nothing but harm innocent civilians. You can't call him an anti-Semite. Oh, by the way, the people running Israel aren't Semites. They're Ashkenazi Jews from Eastern Europe. The Palestinians are Semites from the Mesopotamia region. And a lot of the other Israelis, from Morocco, they're Semites, but not the cats running the show. Sanders, yep. What else do we have here? Ready? U.S. Jewish group calls on Congress to halt Gaza carnage. The human rights group Jewish Voice of Peace has issued an urgent call to the United States public, calling on Americans to pressure Congress to help end the ongoing airstrikes in Gaza. Quote, the United States must work immediately to escalate to prevent the further loss of life and not fuel and exacerbate the violence by sending more weapons to Israel, said the Jewish Voice of Peace. There is only one way to end violence, to address the cause. Remember, this is coming from the Israelis. 75 years of Israeli military occupation and apartheid. That's the violence that they are talking about. We must end U.S. complicity in this systemic oppression. Yep. The group's call to action came as anti-Palestinian rhetoric on Capitol Hill intensified, with Senator Lindsey Graham calling for Israel, quote, to level the blockade enclave of Gaza. And of course, Egypt spies warned Israel that Gaza could explode before this happened, and Israel knew of Hamas attacks in advance. And this is according to Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCaul of the United States House of Representatives. And in your Trends Journal, remember this just came out, we had an article in there by Phil Giraldi, former top CIA guy, saying that considering Israel's intelligence to the top of the world, they knew what was going on. And this happened, again, as we said, when all else fails, they take you to war. Everybody forgot about the Judicial Reform Act that had people taking to the streets week after week, month after month. What was it, about something like 36 weeks straight. So there you got just some of what was going on, and we got a lot more, lot more. And I just want to make this very clear that Israeli settlements are illegal under international law. They violate Article 49 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, which states the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into territories it occupies. And Israel, this is from Jerusalem Post, allegedly strikes 2 airports in Syria. Wait, you're fighting, you're bombing Gaza, and now you're bombing airports in Syria? And Russia came out and said, Russia calls Israel missile strikes on Syria gross violation of international law. These actions by the Israeli side constitute a gross violation of sovereignty of the Syrian Arab Republic and the basic norms of international law, the ministry said in a statement, adding, the lives of innocent people and the safety of international air traffic were exposed to a real threat. But that's okay. And U.S. announces more military aid for Kyiv. Far-right gains as German voters turn their backs on ruling parties. I'm mentioning this because the populist movements are really getting popular. They've had enough of the migrant crisis. They've had enough of war. And I have too. And I'm a guy, a man who's a warrior for the Prince of Peace. I launched Occupy Peace. These aren't empty words coming out of my mouth. I fight for peace. And if you don't do anything to fight for peace, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye, because we are in that far away from being annihilated in war. It'll be Armageddon. You think things were bad with the Ukraine war? Oh, and how many nuclear weapons does Israel have? Well, they're allowed to have all they want. Nobody, Iranians can't have them. Only Israel can. Between 200 and 400 of them? Yeah. And they bomb Iran. This thing explodes. Oh, by the way, all the World Trade Organization, the IMF, and one after another coming out what we've been warning about for how long? How long? With the Middle East meltdown that we wrote as our top trend for 2023? That came out on what, January 4th or 3rd? That oil prices are going to skyrocket and it's going to crash equity markets and economies. If you don't do anything to unite for peace, you know, and again, save your fucking bullshit, you people, that the one group that don't like my language is everybody's getting slaughtered, and the other one's calling me an anti-Semite. Go fuck off. I'm not an anti-Semite. I am opposed to what Israel is doing. I'm opposed to what Hamas is doing. And I understand why it's all happening. We need a 2 states solution. And how about talking about peace? All you fucking pieces of shit that just want war. So there's going to be a lot more coming up. We're staying on top of this. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. We're doing everything we can for you. Are you doing everything you can for us? The more subscribers we have, the more we can do to help. bring peace on earth, goodwill to all. The Trends Journal is your friend because the trend is your friend. Okay, that's it for now.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
His work is actually a gold mine. Anybody interested in politics, political trends, economic trends, social trends, cultural trends, you have to follow him, Gerald Celente.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
But Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.